Hello and welcome back to my gaming journal. This is for March 2023 and what an eventful March I have had. March means I turned 31, so I'm already aging this video by telling you guys that I'm 31 now. But March also means that at the end of March I always get a break from my job because I work in a school, and yeah, I just get like a nice 2-week break in between the chaos that is my job. So that means I get to beat games, or try to beat games, as I like to say. And beat games I did, but before I get to that, I've just been relaxing and kind of just planning out the rest of what I want to play, and I've kind of gotten into more of a groove with myself of what I want to play and how much I can play in a day before I really start to hit like a point of I'm tired of this, I should put the games away today. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. It's a really weird space to be in where your hobby can be detrimental, but your hobby is what makes you happy at the end of the day. So it's a really hard balance to strike. I don't know where I'm going with this, but I hope you guys can understand that you do need to take time away from your hobby to just appreciate it and enjoy it more. So again, in March, I played a bunch of games, which I will read out for you guys now. Again, a lot of these games, I kind of just, I tried out once, and maybe I just took it off my list, I vetoed it from my list. But here we go. Saint Seiya Sanctuary Battle, Volzark, I don't remember the full name, but Volzark, Pillars of Eternity, Inscription, Honkai Impact, Theater Rhythm Final Barline, Final Fantasy XIV, of course, Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition, Muse Dash, Live Alive, Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate, and Cloudpunk. Now, I've decided to veto Pillars of Eternity because I tried 3 different characters, and I only got about an hour or 2 in with each before I realized I either did something wrong with the way that I set up my characters, or I just suck at the battle system. I think I might take Inscription off of my list, and I can already hear the comments fiercely typing, Inscription is so good, just give it a chance. And I want to give it another chance, and I probably will, but I don't see myself finishing Inscription. It's not the game, it's me. It's me. I actually managed to take Honkai off of my bar on my computer so I don't have to look at it anymore, so that it doesn't tempt me with its good gameplay and monetization and gacha elements. So I'm doing pretty good at playing games that I actually want to complete this year. And speaking of completed games, I beat 3 or 4, depending on how you count them, for the month of March. The first game I beat in March was Saint Seiya Sanctuary Battle. Beat this on March 2nd, so I was really close to beating it at the end of February, but just managed to finish it off in March. Took me about 5 hours-ish to beat. It's not that long of a game. It's kind of Saint Seiya in the style of a Dynasty Warriors game. There's a lot of mobs and then a boss at the end. The story follows the second arc of the anime, where you have to save Saori from getting poisoned and dying. So you have to fight all of the Gold Saints. And I really love this arc in the anime. It's one of my favorites, I have to say. It's a really strong arc. It's got every shonen anime trope you can think of, where the characters just don't die because they're the main character and they can't die. They just have to keep coming back and defeat their opponent with some innate internal power that even they were unaware of. So it's a really fun time. It was a pretty decently fun game. It's kind of bare bones, but it does the job in telling the story of the arc and letting you feel like you've overpowered the Gold Saints. Yeah, if I had to give it a score though, I would probably put it at like a 6 out of 10. It's kind of only a game you would play if you really enjoy the story of Saint Seiya or you're just a big fan. Also, this game was only released in English in the European region, so if you're looking to play this game, you might have to emulate it or else buy a EU copy. The next game I beat was Tales of Vesperia, the Definitive Edition on PS4. This game took me a long time, like 54.5 hours, and I only got stuck really on one boss, but I had to put the game on easy, and then the boss was easy, and then the rest of the game was easy. But until that point, I played on normal. And this game, I don't know if I would recommend it. I would recommend it if you're a Tales fan, but otherwise, this game has a lot of jank because it's an older Tales game, but I am glad that I played it because the characters are just so freaking good. I love each and every one of my Chaos Children from this game. They are just, the way they interact and the way that they've written the characters is just so good, and the additions to the Definitive Edition are just so welcome. And the story was a story that they told. It wasn't the best story I've ever had in a JRPG, but it did its job, and I can respect it for that. Of course, the graphics look great, the cell shading doesn't really age, so everything looks like new, almost. I don't know how to describe it, but the game looks great. Honestly, it's a lot of little things that hold this game back from being one of my favorite Tales games. Now, I don't know if we can count this as a game beaten since this was on my games beaten for last month, but I actually 100%ed Theatrhythm Final Bar Line. I have 71 hours in this game. That's how much it took me to get to the platinum for this game because I'm playing on PS4. But 71 hours for a platinum, and I did that in about 2 months, is not that bad. The time it took for me to actually beat the game to get the credits was only about 19 hours, but to complete the game for me was 71 hours. I've heard of people beating it and completing it, getting the platinum in about 50-ish hours, which is probably more accurate since I spent a lot of time just playing the game and leveling up the wrong characters to do for the quest system. But yeah, I'll probably come back to this game here and there since there's going to be content updates, and I do have access to all of the content updates because of the version I have. So I will have to come back to it here and there, but I'm not dreading it, of course. I love this game so much. And squeaking in at the very tail end of March, I beat Live Alive. I think that's how you say it. Live Alive? Live Alive? Live Alive. However you want to say it, however you do say it, I beat it in 4 days. Wow, this game is so phenomenal. I am lost for words on this game. I was one of those people who had never heard of it previously. I didn't even know this game existed until the remaster was announced for the Switch, and I'm so glad I played it. Of course, the game has a demo, so you can try out some of the beginnings of the stories of the characters, and from then I was already hooked. I wanted to experience this game. This game seemed like it had something different to offer, and holy crap, did it have something different to offer. I can't describe this game to you guys. You just have to kind of play it. Like, it's one of those games where I can't accurately describe everything that happens in this game. But what I can tell you is each chapter is different, follows a different character, has a different feel to it. Each chapter is different, even though the combat throughout the game is the same. Each chapter is different enough to where you feel like you're playing like 8 different games in one, almost. Story alone is great, and then add to it what they have done to it in this remaster with the kind of Octopath style engine that they've used with the 2D sprites and the 3D world, and it's just a beautiful marriage of all of these elements coming together for a wonderful experience. And oh my god, the music too, just to top it all off, the music is so good. Every time I hear Megalovania, I would get so hyped. It's just, I can't, again, I cannot describe how much this game, you need to play it. You need to play it. I just, please go play it. If you don't play anything else this year, and you like JRPGs or RPGs in general, just give this a try. There is a demo, so you can try that, and it's been recently announced to be for PS4 and PS5, so Sony players, get on that, try that demo. But yeah, I don't know if this is Game of the Year material for me, but it is definitely up there. It's a good, solid game to try if you're looking for something different in your RPG world. Okay, welcome back to my island. Since March was such a long month, I had a lot of time to get new mounts in Final Fantasy XIV, and that's kind of what I've been focusing on, as well as like beast tribes and other things. So yeah, welcome back. We'll just get started with some doggos. I finally finished all of the doggos. The first one I got was Suzaku's dog. And then, with a lot of help from my friends, I finally got the Tsukiyomi dog. It might look the coolest. I do like purple, but I also like blue. This one's really cool. And then I'm pretty sure this was the last one I needed. Good old Shinryu. Which meant I was able to get the Kamui mount! Finally, after seeing so many people have this mount. It kinda still scares me because of the face being so small, but it is pretty cool. And the sun has finally come out on my island just in time to show you guys my saber-toothed tiger. This is for doing 200 Gunbreaker dungeons, high rank dungeons. There is an armored version of this that I would love to get, but that'll have to wait for a while yet. Quickly switching over to Miner to show you guys that I got the first crystal tool. My first crystal tool, anyways. I plan on getting the botanist one as well, and maybe the fisher one, but for now this will have to be the one and only one I have. Making another switch over to Astrologian since I got my next Manderville weapon. And I have to say this one might be my favorite out of all the Manderville weapons. I know I haven't seen all of them quite yet, but I really do enjoy just the simple leaf motif it's got going on. And rounding out with the last two mounts that I got in the month of March, I got my Beast Tribe mount from the Leopards. It is very adorable, and I'm kind of in love with him, and he's got his own little animation. And the very last mount is probably my least favorite mount on this list, but I had to get it because, I mean, it's a mount, and I'm gonna try and get as many as I can. And it is the Kefka mount, or I guess the Air Force One mount? I don't know. It's kind of weird, and it's hilarious to see my character in the middle of this tiny. Alright, that's it. Thank you for sticking around if you've gotten through this entire video. I'm going to try to keep these under 20 minutes. I know they've been getting longer and longer each time, but I guess I just have more and more to say as the year goes on. Stay safe, drink your water, and keep on gaming.